Hi Virgo, welcome to your November 2018 Tarot and Astrology reading. First and foremost, thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So Virgo, this month is very much the month of communication for you. We have Scorpio energy and multiple planets. We have the sun there. We have Jupiter there for the first 8 months. 8 days, good lord. And we have, of course, the new moon in Scorpio on the 7th. And this is all to do with the way you communicate, the people in your day-to-day life that you need to have conversations with. Particularly because the sun on the 6th of November is connecting with Neptune and Pisces. And this, because Pisces is a very healing energy and it's your partnership sector, it could result in a conversation much needed with a very important person in your life. And that's sort of where the energy seems to be focusing on. Maybe somebody that you want to give up on as a person. Maybe somebody that you've lost hope with. It may even be a partnership within the workplace. It may be a contract. You may be thinking of exiting your contract early because you're not happy or you feel unfulfilled. Now, with Uranus going back into Aries, you may find a little bit that it can feel somewhat abrupt. Now it moves in on the 6th, and then there's that new moon in the 7th, and Jupiter goes into fellow fire sign with Aries, Sagittarius, and it's sort of a clearing energy. It's about clearing the cobwebs away, and this is kind of representative of that to me. Sagittarius for you is, of course, your home and family sector, so the conversation may be with somebody in your family. It depends on your chart and your lifestyle at the moment, who the person is, but Jupiter in that sector is going to bring you a lot of luck when it comes to family. So if you've had complicated, a lot of family relationships are complicated, but if you've had abrupt energy, see, this is a family card that's just popped out, 10 of Pentacles. If you have had tough times financially in the home or with housing in general, it's actually a very important time to manifest new outlooks, manifest new desires, make new intentions on the new moon on the 7th, because you may find that you are clearing the pathway for something incredibly positive and you can manifest this energy quicker. It's actually a very well aspected new moon, so what you put out into the universe during your ritual, during your visualization process, you're going to be actually seeing a lot more results quicker, despite the Venus retrograde period and despite the Mercury retrograde period, which follows on the 16th when Jupiter goes direct. So we have a Page of Cups. So this is that conversation. That is the heart to heart with somebody in your life. The Four of Cups is that this person may have rejected you before. You may have rejected them. Interestingly enough, the Three of Swords is well aspected. It's helping you in the situation. The heartbreak is getting some resolve, some healing. Challenge position is the Queen of Cups. This could be a water sign person that you're dealing with. And Death card is the outcome. So there is the shedding of old skin, the transformative energy. Something is changing. You could very much be dealing with a Scorpio here. Five of Swords. There has been a challenging relationship, Virgo, that much I can see. But for some reason, whether it is fate or whether it was just meant to be this way, something was meant to, I guess it was meant to hurt you. You were meant to learn from something. You were meant to experience this pain, this disaster feeling, because it was setting you up for something else. It was actually setting you up for a new chapter. Do not fear the Death card in the outcome position, Virgo, because the new moon in Scorpio is the Death card. You could be dealing with a lot of Scorpio people in your day-to-day life. It could be somebody in your family, as I say. There may need to be some sort of healing. There may be, with Virgo, for this month, you guys may be finding the Venus retrograde period within your financial sector, your sector of worth. You may be fighting back a little bit on somebody else's perception of you. You may feel unfairly judged. You may feel like somebody has taken you for granted. Someone's taken advantage of your good nature. And it could be this person here. This could be this Queen or Page of Cups. It could be. Cups don't mean they have to be a water sign, but it just means you're emotionally invested and they were emotionally invested in you as a person. And there's been some sort of discord. And I think it is hitting you in your worth sector. It could actually have been someone who maybe you were financially invested in to an extent, so it could be work related. But this is somebody who has hurt you, whether on purpose or whether not. And for some reason, this Three of Swords is here to serve you. The Five of Swords means that if you continue this battle, if it continues to be a battle, there will be no winners. Actually, with Death in the outcome position, you have an opportunity this month with the communication planets, with Scorpio, to make a conversation happen. And I think it's most likely to happen before the 16th of November, whenever Mercury goes retrograde in your home sector. It's quite a funny month astrologically. It, I think, is quite a sarcastic month in true Scorpio nature, because obviously Venus has been retrograde since October, the very first week in October. I think it was October 3rd. And the day it exits, Mercury decides to retrograde in the sign that Jupiter goes into. So the planet of luck decides it's time for my spin in Sagittarius, and Mercury retrogrades in the sign of Sagittarius in sort of a not so fast. I mean, Mercury is being a little bit of a trickster. And Mercury is actually your co-ruler. It co-rules you in Gemini. So you know, Mercury retrograde always has a profound effect on Virgos, and it's, as I say, this is giving you the chance to revisit a conversation that must happen, that needs to happen. It wants to give you a voice to something. It's actually something happening for the greater good. As you can see, Death is the major arcana, and it's that transformative center stage energy that can't be ignored. In the Rider-Waite deck, Death just transforms in on his horse. You know, he just comes in all guns blazing and takes down whoever is in his path, regardless of mercy. But that's not to say Death is a terrifying aspect. It's actually you clearing out this internal struggle, this internal discourse, and something that's not working. And with Mercury going retrograde, technology might not be the easiest at the end of the month. This is a delayed conversation. This is a conversation that's well overdue. Two of Swords is challenging you. Judgment. You were feeling judged, and now you're making a decision to clear the air. Eight of Pentacles is in the challenge position. And the Devil. Okay, the High Priestess is underneath. So, Virgo, Judgment in the helpful energy sector here actually means that this is your call. You're having a moment of clarity, you're thinking clearer, and I think you're possibly dealing with somebody who has had to do a lot of internal work on themselves and figure a few things out. This could be someone who, I think with the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, someone who retreated emotionally because they had some work to do. For a lot of you, this is somebody who wasn't ready for romance that returned to you, possibly during the Venus retrograde period. Somebody who was a bit back and forth. And as we know, what we put out into the universe, we get back. So if someone has been back and forth with you quite a lot, you're now sort of returning the favor. And it's not on purpose. It's not done with spite. But it's the energy mirroring itself. And I think with Judgment, you're calling an end to this. Something has gone on long enough. Something has been back and forth. Something has been delayed. There's been so many retrogrades this year that a lot of reflective energy has gone stale for people, because you can't keep reflecting over and over and over. We have to live, after all. And with the Devil and Death card, you're very determined to come out of an ending stronger. You're very determined to put something negative and something toxic to bed and begin a new phase. And the Scorpio new moon seems to be enhancing that for you. You seem to, with the High Priestess, be very much in alignment with your truest desire. And sometimes your truest desire is to end something else. And maybe it is ending a phase. It's not necessarily always ending a relationship. I think that's a misconception with Death. People see the Death card and assume that they're going to split up with their partner, or the person they're seeing is going to leave them, you know, that type of energy. It's very rarely that. Somehow or another, I see this, well, I don't say rarely, I guess, but it does happen. But in general readings, I find it kind of irresponsible to suggest on my behalf, so I wouldn't suggest that. The Devil and the Death card actually feel to me like you're ending a negative pattern or a negative cycle. And I'm saying it's more of a pattern. I think if the Wheel of Fortune makes an appearance, we can call it a cycle. But I think this is a pattern. somebody else's pattern of behavior, a pattern of indecision, and a pattern of suppressing your own voice to suit somebody else because maybe somebody else was a bit volatile. Do you know what I mean? You're not really into this submissive energy anymore, Virgo, from what I can see. You're not into keeping the peace for the sake of it. You want to clear the air and move forward. You want to have your say because something needs to be communicated in a very important relationship. For some of you, it actually is a boss in the workplace. It could be somebody is taking you for granted with the Devil card. Somebody is piling on too much work. Somebody is taking the glory and you're doing the behind the scenes. And you're actually calling somebody out on that kind of behavior. As I say, it could be a Queen of Cups person. It could be somebody who's a bit emotionally unsteady at the moment, whatever they're going through. And they maybe retreated to work on themselves. Now they're back with an apology and you don't know how to take it. King of Wands. It could actually be a fire sign, guys. It's Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Doesn't have to be. It can be Sun, Moon, or Rising. Could be a Taurus, of course, with the Hierophant here. But I think the Taurus represents commitment to the cause. The Lovers is in the positive position, which is beautiful. Okay, so challenge position is actually the Ten of Cups. So the challenge for a lot of you is career, and the Three of Cups warrants a celebration with quite possibly a bit of a hangover. Just have to say that. Three of Cups and the Devil can often represent a hangover from hell. So, Four of Wands underneath. You're having success with this tricky conversation. You're having success with this tough heart-to-heart, this tough breakthrough. It is a breakthrough, Virgo. And the Lovers in the helpful position with Judgment, I feel like somebody is just coming out of the woodwork. Something is breaking free. Something is breaking free of that Three of Swords moment. You're coming out of that and you're moving into a Lover's phase. The Three of Swords to the Three of Cups is celebrating coming out the other end a survivor and coming out the other end with somebody new or with somebody else. It could be, of course, with Judgment, it can be someone from the past. I know it's not for everyone. But for the Three of Cups, it's two people celebrating a joint cause. So maybe the initiative that you show in this conversation makes somebody see you in a new light, an enhanced light. Someone sees your value, someone sees your worth. And with the the Ten of Pentacles in the challenge position, it doesn't necessarily have to be a 5-year plan, you know. When you plan too far ahead in detail, it's very frustrating because you can get derailed. Even if, Virgo, you do like knowing where you stand and you do like knowing what the details are. And that's fine. It actually looks like someone wants to give you the details. As I say, the Devil is in the detail. But you don't have to see everything long term for it to start or for it to work, You can learn from your hindsight on a situation because something seems to have been delayed and you've definitely taken a lesson from it which enables you to celebrate this. So there's a celebration here. If anything, the Judgment and the Lovers to me kind of looks like somebody how do I put this? It looks like a very strong relationship. For me, it actually kind of looks like a conversation that goes really well about living together. As I say, actually, Jupiter going into Sagittarius, that will enhance your home sector for the next year. So you might actually be moving in with a lover, moving into something more committed. Death card can mean that, especially with the Three of Cups. Moving on to something more committed. Judgment and the Lovers. That's a relationship made of steel, I think. With the Three of Swords there, it means healing from a past situation that's hurt you. These are two people, Judgment and the Lovers, it's two people that really need to be together. Really want to be together and really are meant to be together. Of course, that's not the case for everyone, and I know a lot of people will think, but if the Six of Cups isn't there, the Six of Cups isn't wildly solid in a lot of cases. You know, depending on the surroundings, sometimes it can be mostly about looking back, and I don't see that here. This is charging forward into new territory, like a new terrain. The Death card isn't about looking back. The Death card is more about rising from the ashes as somebody, well, definitely somebody stronger with the Devil, because you're not taking any prisoners when you've gone through this phase. I think you've been messed around quite a bit, Virgo, and it actually looks to me like what you're celebrating is either, well, it's either a very loving arrangement with a partner, or a new relationship, or in the workplace it's moving up into a higher realm. Kind of what I see. There's a celebration in the works here, and this is November, it's not December. So when we think of December, we see the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands, and we think, oh, that's just Christmas, you know, it's Christmas celebrations or whatever, the holidays. But actually the Three of Cups here is about celebrating something created with another person. You think about it, because a lot of people see the Three of Cups and think third party. I don't really, because it's a celebration card. Why would you celebrate a third party? I just don't get it. I really don't get it. The two cups here that are cheersing, they're cheersing to this cup. Something special that both people that are holding these cups want. They're cheersing to a common cause, okay? For a lot of you, I think it is love. So maybe some people are getting engaged. It could actually be some people are getting married. The Devil just means to me, honestly, this is quite possibly a hangover or a really, really long party, like a really long night. And I think it's something really, really exciting, Virgo. I actually think you're really clearing out the ghosts and the cobwebs. Venus retrograde seems to have served you pretty well, I can't lie. This looks like a very fresh start. And if you're going into this month completely single, please bear in mind, Judgment card and the Lovers mean your options are enhanced, especially if you're dealing with a Scorpio or a Gemini. Oopsies. Sacred space. Oh, create an altar with a power place to connect with the divine. That is the new moon. Make sure you're manifesting under this new moon. Prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance to you. Be open to receiving inner wisdom. You know what to do. Take your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. This is a conversation that needs to happen, Virgo. A conversation that leads to success. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Virgo. I will see you in the mid-monthly November readings. And until then, take care. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.